In the last lecture, I showed you how to override the name of this foreign key column here, author ID, in the courses table. So we removed that underline. But then when I was reviewing my own recordings, I noticed that we have another instance of underline here. In our course tags table, we have two foreign key columns, course underline ID and tag underline ID. Now, what I taught you in the last lecture to change the name of these foreign key columns does not work in this particular case. Why is that? Let's review what we did in the last lecture, and then you will see why it doesn't work here. So in the last lecture, we went to the course class and added this author ID property here. So this author ID property is the foreign key property. Then in our mapping configuration, here, so in the configuration of the relationship between courses and authors, we called this method has foreign key, which takes a lambda expression, and the input here is a course object, and here we reference the target foreign key property. So that's how we overwrote the default conventions and removed the underline. But in case of course tags table, this approach doesn't work, because this table, course tags, does not have a representation in our domain model. We don't have a class called course tags. So we cannot create properties like course ID and tag ID and then call has foreign key method on them. This table is purely in our relational model. It belongs to a relational database. It has no place in an object-oriented model. So how do we fix this? It's actually pretty easy. It's just different. So take a look at the configuration of the relationship between courses and tags. In the last lecture, we used the map method and called the toTable method to set the name of this intermediary table. Now take a look at M here. M is an object of type many-to-many association mapping configuration. This object has a couple other useful methods that we can use to set the foreign key names. So m dot map left key or map right key. So in order for us to call these methods, we need to change this lambda expression to a code block. So note the curly braces. So imagine this is the body of a method that takes m as an argument. So inside the body of this method, first we're going to call m.toTable, semicolon. Now m.map left key. So in this relationship, because we're starting from course going towards tags, the left side is course. So the name of the left key is going to be course ID. And similarly, map right key, this one is going to be tag ID. That's all. Now let's recreate our migration. So back to Package Manager console. Reload the file. Let's go to the migration. There you go. Look at the definition of the course tags table. So we have course ID and tag ID.